Hi guys, Kevin here. It's Thanksgiving Day and my turkey is in the oven, so now I am going to make the stuffing. So what I have here are two sheet pans of cubed bread. And this is a gluten-free bread, but if at all possible, you should really use ordinary gluten-full bread. I'm using gluten-free because my spouse is on a gluten-free diet. And what I did was dry out the bread for about an hour in a 250-degree oven. So let's move on to the other ingredients. Actually, since I'm not going to stuff this stuffing into a bird, I should probably call it dressing. And all good dressings and stuffings begin with an entire stick of butter. And I'm melting mine in a big skillet over medium-low heat. And while that's melting, I'm going to chop up 10 very fresh sage leaves. Sage is absolutely necessary for stuffing and dressing. I'll chop this up and come right back. Well, I might as well show you how to chop fresh sage. First, you stack the leaves, then you roll them up as if you were rolling a cigar. I'm sure we all roll our own cigars. And then make thin, crosswise slices. What we're doing is making a chiffonade of sage. And then further chop the chiffonade so you end up with diced sage. Well, while I was busy chopping the sage, I managed to burn the butter. So this will be a burnt butter dressing. And to the burnt butter, I'm going to add 4 stalks of chopped celery and 1 very large purple onion and 1 very small white onion. In other words, use 2 medium onions. And let me grab a spatula. And we're going to let this cook until the onions turn translucent. That will take, 5 minutes or so. I'll come back. Okay, everything is looking pretty good here. The onions have softened, as have the celery bits. So now I'm going to add my chiffonaded and then diced sage, fresh sage. And I always use fresh sage because the bottled or canned stuff just doesn't seem to have much of an aroma to me. And we're going to stir that in just until we get a whiff of that sagey perfume. We're also going to add 1 teaspoon of dried thyme. Unlike sage, dried thyme is very fragrant. We're also going to add a nice pinch of salt. I'm using kosher salt. You can use table salt. And some grinds of black pepper. 5 for me. And wow, this is smelling good already. So I'm going to cut off the heat and then I'll show you the next step. Put all of your bread cubes into a bowl that is probably smaller than you would like it to be. And then break 2 large eggs into another bowl. Easy. Then grab a wire whisk and beat the eggs. I know a lot of people don't put eggs in their stuffing, but I always do. It acts as a binder. And then we want to whisk. I don't know why I was tapping my whisk against that bowl, because we then have to add, if I can get the lid off, 1 quart of chicken stock. And normally I make my own chicken stock, but not today. I made my own turkey stock with the giblets and the neck. And I even filmed that video for you, but I have to reserve that for the gravy that's going to go with the turkey. And we're just going to stir this together. And then we are going to pour all of this beautiful stuff over the dried bread cubes. And then we're going to add our vegetable matter, the onions and the celery and the herbs that were cooked in an ungodly amount of butter. Well, it was only 1 stick. I guess that's not too bad. And then take a spatula and try not to spill everything over the side of the bowl. And just mix everything together, like so. And I'm already spilling some of my stuff, but that's okay. I'll just put it back in. And this bread is going to absorb that wonderful liquid. And I think we're good. So then, take I'm using a 9x13 baking dish, and you can butter yours. I did not because I just ran out of butter. So I sprayed mine with vegetable spray. Then add the dressing or stuffing ingredients. And this is fun. I love cooking for you. Here we go. And this bread dressing should not be so dry. I know I've had some dressings that were so dry I could choke on them. Never in my own house, however. But there's enough liquid in here to that the bread can soak up. And then this is going to go into a 350-degree oven, for 30 to 45 minutes. Okay, I'm back. I forgot to tell you, cover the baking dish with a lid or a sheet of aluminum foil. And then pop the dish into the oven for about 30 minutes, covered, and then remove the foil and bake for another 10 to 15 minutes. I'll be back. And here is that gorgeous, gorgeous stuffing I made earlier. It turned out perfectly, and even though the gluten-free bread seemed a little gummy, it cooked up just fine. It's about 4 hours later, and I have to tell you, it was a fabulous Thanksgiving dinner. This is what's left of the stuffing. And I have to tell you, everything was delicious, from the turkey to the stuffing to the cranberry sauce, the gravy. And I'm really glad that you spent time with me in the kitchen while I put together all of these dishes. And after dinner, we listened to Tom Petty and Patti Smith and Ethel Ennis and Freddie Mercury and some other artists. It was a whole lot of fun. Of course, we had a lot of wine too. I hope you had a fabulous Thanksgiving, and I will see you very soon. Please subscribe. There's a little subscribe linky over here. Okay, bye for now.